Self-love. Self-love is probably a term that I have been on a journey to internalize and understand myself. So it means many things. The first thing that self-love means to me is having boundaries. And by boundaries, I mean the way I define boundaries when I say this to people is boundaries is the thing that I put between you and me so that I can love you and love me better. Okay, so that's my first example of self-love, making sure that I put boundaries and being able to say no when I should be saying no. The second thing that I define self-love as being is thinking about myself, not being selfish, but also thinking about myself and putting myself first where I can. This is usually a little bit difficult because I'm a mother of three. I'm a solo parent. I have a very busy career. I have aging parents. I have siblings. I have a lot of friends. So it's very easy to be in a situation where I constantly put myself last. But you know what that has meant for me over the years is that I have been very exhausted. I have even been resentful. I have had lots of rage and anger. And I just generally have been unhappy when I put myself at the bottom of the list. So that's the other thing as far as self-love is concerned. Being there for other people, being there for others, but ultimately putting myself first and making sure that I'm taking care of me so that I can take care of others as well. The third meaning of self-love for me, the last one, is doing work that is meaningful and that is going to help change the state of the world. And I think if I'm not doing that kind of work, then I will not be loving myself. So that is a very, very important part of who I am and how I love myself, doing work that will change the world. Yes, one thing I've learned about myself that I'm really grateful for is my level of resilience and my ability to just surmount really, really difficult things and be able to bounce back. And if you'd asked me this 30 years ago, I would probably not have realized how resilient I am and how resilient I can be. But that is something that I constantly surprise myself with and that I ascribe to the many things I've been able to do in my life. Yes, that's a very hard question. How do I maintain a positive self-image? Yes, I think it goes back to self-love. I think if you love yourself, if you're doing meaningful, compelling work, if you are there for others, then ultimately that should really help you have a positive self-image. I think for me, it's not about being a size 8 or a size 0 or a size 12. It's about being comfortable in who I am physically, mentally, and spiritually. And once I'm able to achieve those things, then ultimately I believe then it's possible. It really is possible to have a positive self-image. Setting and maintaining healthy boundaries basically means being able to say no and being able to say no in a very wholesome, diplomatic, kind way. And I call that high quality no. I think there are lots of bad quality no's. And this is when you say no with anger, with resentment, with sadness, with unhappiness. But a good quality no is saying a no, which is very positive and explaining even sometimes if you need to why you're saying no. For example, no, I can't go out today because I actually just want to sit at home and rest. Or no, I can't take on this additional project because I need to focus on what I'm doing now. That for me is a way and the purpose of setting healthy boundaries, being comfortable with the word no. Yes, I have several. Unfortunately, it's not just one. So my primary self-care activity is meditation, which I do every morning. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I wake up at 5 a.m. and meditation for 20 minutes helps to center me, helps to focus me, and helps me to just look at the day with huge positivity and focus. Together with my meditation, I pray as well, also in the morning. So prayer is a spiritual practice for me that helps maintain my focus on not just me, but on the world as a whole. And then the third practice for me for self-care is yoga. So yoga is one of my most favorite practices. I have to do it at least 3 or 4 times a week. And that could be anything from Ashtanga yoga to just yin and yang yoga or Bikram yoga. So those things for me are really important as far as self-care is concerned. My personal values. Family is actually a big deal for me when it comes to values. Family, maintaining focus on family, and just being there for those who are around you. And sometimes family is not just those who are related to you by blood. Family, in many instances, are people that you love and just love you back. So I think for me, that's probably one of the most important things. Family, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's at home, or whether it's people that you're helping. Self-acceptance and self-worth. Um, those are very hard questions. Self-acceptance and self-worth, I think these are journeys. I don't really think you can wake up one day and say, I'm 100% at self-acceptance and at self-worth, because there are things that happen in your life that sometimes make you move away from self-acceptance and self-worth. For example, the breakdown of a long-term relationship or long-term marriage can make you doubt your self-worth. Sometimes losing a job can also make you sort of lose that focus on self-worth. So I think it's not a journey, it's a practice. And for me, that practice means not defining who you are by what you wear, by what you're worth, by how much money you have in the bank account, by your title. If you constantly practice those things, that you're more than just that, it'll be much easier to deal with the downsides that come. And it'll be much more difficult to be struggling with your self-worth once one of these things are no longer there. How do I boost my self-confidence? I love a massage. So I do massages probably twice a week. That helps me be confident. It helps me be comfortable. And I think just sometimes looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I love you, Kanini, is a way to boost my self-confidence, and just being satisfied and happy and grateful with what I see in the mirror. And thirdly, just saying thank you every day for what God has given me. And that could be in the middle of a terrible day. It could be the day that one of my children is not well, or I'm struggling at work, but just closing your eyes and saying, thank you for the fact that I can breathe. Thank you that I have a beautiful home. Thank you that I have a partner that loves me and that I love him back. Gratitude is the most amazing way to get to that point. Yes, a journey as well. I don't think anyone can ever say, I take criticism very well. I think as a human being, we're not built to love being criticized. But as I said before, what really helps me in life is not identifying with the things that I have or my titles or my board positions. So when somebody criticizes me, I guess it's just going inside myself and saying there's a lot more to me than what is being criticized, number one. And then number two, sometimes people criticize you and they have no place criticizing you. So again, context really makes a difference. Thinking about what the person has said, but putting it into context and asking yourself, is this coming from the right place? Is it coming from the right mindset? And is it something that I need to think about?